Hello, good evening, happy Wednesday. Lovely to see you. So today, I just apologise for my red cheeks. I've had the fire lit and yeah, it's a little bit roasting now, so I've gone a little bit glowy cheeks. Anyway, today we are doing another couple of alternative ideas I just wanted to share with you. As promised, I've still got loads more up here and I've scribbled some notes down somewhere and put them safely and can't find them. But there's a couple we'll do tonight and then the others will be rolled through as the festive season continues. So let's get you down onto the table and move you across there. I'm sure I'll have some people come and join shortly. So I've put it somewhere so safe. I've buried it now under other things. Why do I do this to myself? There we go. So the take a bow dies. Just looking for the box packet that it came in. Yes, I've already buried everything. So we'll continue without that. I don't know where. It's not over there. Never mind. Anyway, we don't need the packet, do we? This is the take a bow dies that went with these papers I showed you last week. So these are the take a bow designer series papers. Okay, I'm not going to be using those today. Hi Linda, nice to see you. If you could send a little wave down to tell me where this is. There it is, it's hiding. I had some alternatives I was going to do, but I'm saving those. I'll explain why later. So this was the packet. So it's just the one die in here, and it's available as a bundle with the papers, as I've just said. So I'm going to do some alternatives with this. I had an idea in mind, and I've got the heat embossing things out, so we might do some heat embossing for our sentiment tonight. So I wanted to start by bringing up the big machine. We're going to cut some strips. We're not going to use them for their intended purpose today. So this is not going to be a bow. The bows, if you didn't see the bows, would you like to see the bows made up from the other day? I took them to an event today, so I'll just grab those. So they're the two that we made last week. So just using the die here that made really light work. So one festive one and one in the Regal winter papers as well. So I'll pop those back in the box. So today I'm going to be using some different papers. This is the Regals that we used last week, just because I happened to have a piece on there that was the right size. Plus, if you recall, I did turn these over and said, wouldn't these make lovely Christmas? Because it's floral, but it's in the cherry cobbler. And I just thought that was going to look really nice. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to place this over the back here. You love them. Yeah, I love these papers as well. I'm now waiting till the 1st of October to put my next order through because we go into a new Stampin' Up year. So I want to do this. Normally I'd cut them downwards, but I want to only cut certain pieces. I'm just going to cover these first three. I measured them today and they are exactly 1 inch wide. So if that helps anybody, just to know that. So my plates have gone really, really scratchy now. And this was new not long ago. I have been thrashing it. So again, I've got that on my list for Sunday to pop through. It's bowing in the middle a little bit, so it's just getting a little bit tired. So I'm just going to run that through. I say, you can cut upwards like this. I tend to cut downwards most of the time, but because I wanted to see where I was placing it, I'm just going to get that out of the way. It's giving me 3 nice pieces, but I've put the nice side downwards. Now, when you're cutting and you're using manky old plates like this that are really scratchy, if I had cut this down, well, it wouldn't matter because the side that's near here is what I want to keep smooth, so that was protected. But if you've got this side, it would sometimes this scratchy surface will go to the back of your cardstock. So if you did want to use the nice side, you could find that you get these scratchy lines. So this just avoids it. Keep the good side that you want cut downwards. Yeah, probably, Linda, you were a bit in holiday mode of that as well, weren't you? So I'm going to come back to, I try not to forget to share with you what I did with some scraps as well. So I'm just going to bend this slightly and these will just pop out. Okay, so I need 3 today. So pop that back with the packet so it stays together. That can go back with the machine. So we're going to set those aside. So I'm going to use those. But I wanted to bring this over first. Now we have, these are the basics 3D embossing folders. There's a pack of 3. And there's, I don't think I had the other 2 out. I think we're just taking this one out of the drawer. But there's 3 on the here, and this is the crisscross. This is the hatch kind of effect. You've seen me use this an awful lot. This is my favourite of the trio, so you will see me using that a lot. Now this one was a new one, the Forever Plaid. Okay, now I have shown you this one, and you tend to put this in straight and you've got your checked pattern. But I wanted to create something a little bit different, but between these two. So you've got the really small crosshatch going diagonally, so put that out of the way. But I'm just going to show you how we can do this background, but to make it come, instead of squares, make it come looking more diagonal. You can put this in an embossing folder and you can do it so the corners are just in. Okay, so we've got that sort of effect, and that's going to give us, I don't know if you'll see that on there, it gives us some diamonds. Instead of doing that square on, you can actually make your own diamonds. So that's another tip for you. So I'm going to bring this back up, take off these 2 plates and pop on the embossing folder one. So it tells you on here what your sandwich is as to which folders to use if you're unsure. So I'll pop the grey one on. I'm going to run that one through. Out, and then when I take this out of the folder, you will see I haven't got another piece with me where they were straight, but I might just do that for you. So that's giving me a crisscross instead of being straight with it. Can you see that on there now? It's giving that texture, and this is good on both sides. You've got different effects. I do like it with the raised ones straight up. But I have got another piece over here. No, I haven't. That's embossed. Let me just cut you another one, because then you can see the two different ways. Ooh. Quickly whisk that through. So this is going to be 14. I think I did this. I'll do it the same size as the other one. I threw my measurements somewhere else. It might be that one. Yep, 9.7 I did on this one this time. So 3 under the 10 can go, and I'll just run this one quickly just so you got a comparison of both of them. So that's on the crosswise, and then this one was going to be on the flat, on the square one. I did use it. I've used it recently, but you might be watching and not seeing the other ones. So. And I'm using white because I'm going to put the red on there, so it's going to give us the details. Hi Marilyn. So pop that out of the way with the plate. So they're together. Now if I put those side by side, you'll see, hi Susan from Texas. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so these ones, this is the same embossing folder but different. So this one's been put in the plate in the embossing folder square on, and then this one's been put on the corner to corner. So easily done. That one's straight, and this one I just put like so. So these 2 outside corners were just in. Okay, and it gives you a totally different look. Okay, so they're just 2 totally different looks. I'm going to use the crisscross today because these are going to be square, so I don't want those to be distorted. Hi Angela, nice to see you. I've got here, I have got a base card cut. If I keep to my reds, I would kind of like another layer in between those though, but I don't know what yet. So we'll put something around the back there. So these, I have done something recently with you. You might remember. This is a really simple one to use them for something different. Can you remember when I did the the candles. I think I've got some parts started on here. They're not finished, but I've got a couple of examples here, so I'll show you these. These were a couple of different ones that I'd done using scraps. And so basically you could see these were two different colourways. Two of my customers did when they were here for a card and a cuppa. And then we put the flames on the top of the candles. We deliberately did some crisscross, different lengths, different widths, using up scraps and running them through the embossing folder, which you could put them all through together. It really didn't matter. And then imagine the candle flames on those. So I thought that these would make excellent candles, but I want different heights on here. So I want one to be fairly tall. So I'm going to chop that about there. So I've got my little guillotine out. So line it up nice and straight. And if I put that on there with the candle along the bottom, okay, there will be a border, like I say, on there. And then that's flat. But look at that for the tapered top of a candle. Yeah, Marilyn, it is totally different, isn't it? This one is a shorter one because remember the plate has got different size pieces for different size loops. All I'm going to do is just chop off that staggered bottom piece here on that one. So there's a short one. We'll pop that one that side. And then maybe we'll do that a little bit shorter still. And pop that down there. And then I want this one kind of in between. So it's kind of about there. So if I just get hold of that there. So that's about 1 inch in. You can always cut off more, but you can't put it back. So that one like so. A little bit different. A little bit more. Okay. So I just thought that that would be rather kind of like nice for Christmas to have some candles. So that's one of the uses tonight. I'm going to put those just in the bin there. Okay, so we're going to get, I want to get a layer in the middle there, and I don't know, what colour would you like to see behind that? See, I've got, on the papers, we have sort of kind of like a duskier colour, but I didn't want it too dark for Christmas. I was wondering whether to put a pebble path behind there. What do we think? Shall we, do we want a bright colour? The gold will be too wasteful to hide it and only see a little border. So I'm just thinking what else I could do. I have some of these papers from the other day, but they're greens. See if I've got any goldy fleckies. So you're not going to see enough of it to make a difference. Let's just get another colour off the... You're saying gold as well, aren't you? You see, I could do the gold. All I can find at the moment is the gold, the glimmer. So all we're going to do is, it's going to be a bit... Oh, no, I can gut it though, can't I? Yes, we'll do that. Thanks for that, Anne, just prompting me. And then, yes, I will. I'm going to make that slightly bigger than this. So I wanted... This one was... I'm going to put 7. Let me take this down to the measurements I had on the other cards I was doing the other night. So I'm going to take this down a little bit more. I'm going to take this to... 14, 13.6, just down a little tiny bit off the edges there. Oh, that is 13.6. And 9.3 this way. That is. Okay, so this one we will put in, I'll cut it from the back. And the beauty of these ones, they are adhesive sheets. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So I had 9.7, let's go one more, 9.8. Okay, so that's that piece. And then 14.1. Oh, look at that just coming in there. I think I might have to cut that with a guillotine. When you get really close to a torn piece like that, you will find it will just, the blade will just slightly catch on there. We want to just take off that piece where it's been cut out, and then we'll see how we're looking. There we go. So think of that as a little glimmer layer behind there. It does look rather swish, doesn't it? Look at that. And then that round the back there. Oh, doesn't that shout Christmas? That is really good. So now let me teach you how to not waste all this gorgeousness in the middle. Well done, Susan's on that one as well. So because we're only going to see that tiniest little gap around the outside there. We really don't want to waste this. So I'm going to move this over. Excuse me, a bit croaky today. I don't know where that's come from. I'm going to move it over a whole centimetre, and I'm going to put my blade down here. Just guess at it, roughly a centimetre here as well. I'm going to go up to roughly a centimetre from the top, and I'm going to move that to the centimetre line here again. Half an inch if you want to in the States and other imperial bods watching. And I'm doing the same down there. And then, in fact, if I turn this over, you'll probably see it better. So I've cut that line. I'm cutting this line. So I'm moving this to 1 centimetre. And I'm going to roughly put that down where that mark is. Come down to about a centimetre from this end. And then do the same again. So we're going up to about, line this little line here up with where you want to be. And then come down to meet it there. Okay. If it's not quite done, just don't fret, because we can finish that off either with a craft knife, put it back in, or you can get some of our little paper snips and just snip that last little bit out. If I was good and had the take your pick, the extra toolkit, I have got it. I'll try and remember to try and incorporate that in the next coming weeks. So I'm just snipping this more right into the corner, just to continue those lines. Then we're basically gutting out, like scrapbooker's gut. So you cut out that middle piece without wasting it. Okay, so we're just going to take that down there. There we go. And take that out. So we've got that whole new piece there to use on another project. So this piece, in the meantime, is going to come down onto my card. Okay, so we're not wasting anything there whatsoever. So as I said, these are self-adhesive. So if I just get that started from the end, I think the best tool for this is our take or pick tool, and I keep the point on the other end of the die brush here. So I'm just going to loosen that up, okay, and just turn that off to tear that out to the sides a little bit, like so. So this is wings. If you just break that seal and then you place that in here, you can do a little piece in this corner as well, actually, diagonally. Okay, and then I'll break it just in there and turn those out. Okay, you can do this with tape, so you put the tear and tape around the edges as well. So all it's going to do is just catch on the corners. So if you haven't quite got it lined up properly, okay, so I've got a little bit in that corner, a little bit in that corner. So if we place this down, have our right size border sort of like evenly all the way around, and then once we're happy with it, we can pull those tabs away to get that into the corners. It's not quite straight yet. Lift that again. Always pressure when you're on camera, isn't it? So that about there. About there. Am I happy with that? I think it could be a fraction move a little bit, but I think I'm more or less happy with that. So now I just gently hold it in place and take that piece away, and then turn it, because I'm right-handed, and then take that piece away, and it's not moving because it's already caught on those two corners. So this one gently comes away there, okay, all the way down, and then this one again, and just out to the corner. So that's all of it completely stuck down now. Yes, Angela, it reduces the weight of postage. Our postage isn't too bad on the weight. It's more the thickness as well. When we post things, it's the thickness that's crippling. And those of you watching, I probably, by Sunday, it'll be too late, I think. I'm not sure what date, but the Royal Mail system over here is going to be putting up the postage in October. So if you want to just avoid us and just get a saving, I'd stock up with your Christmas cards before the end of Saturday, or post offices shut at lunchtime, don't they? So just stock up as soon as you can with your postage stamps. That's UK bods. Okay, we're forever playing catch up, but it's good to save where you can. I did lots on the last price increase, and I mean lots. I went to whatever my budget could afford, and they're locked in the safe. So we've got a little safe that I had from work, so they're safely locked away. But yeah, so I've already had the saving. Until I use those up, can't afford to get any more. Okay, so I'm just taking extra care around the edges there, because with the glimmer it's more uneven. A little bit of fluff there. So that's why I did a good covering through the middle as well, so it's nice and secure. Because it's glitter, it doesn't adhere to so well around the edges there. It's kicking up already, look. So it kind of needs a weight on there. So we have the perfect weights while we're crafting. I've started putting my blocks in here. I learnt this from Jackie, one of my team. If you're travelling, I've got one of the old Stampin' Up wood mount cases, and I've put my blocks in here to transport them. So it's quite handy to put the weight on there and then let that sit for a little bit while we work out. Good grief, I'm very croaky, aren't I? So our 3 candles like so. We're going to put some foam pads on the back of those because we're going to raise that up a little bit. And then for the candles at the top, can you remember I used this? When I used this before, we did a little narrow strip of white, and we sponged the bottom yellow and a little tiny tinge of a red through the middle there, just to look like a flame. But today I'm going to use the biggest one, and I'm just going to pop that in the glimmer. So I have some scraps here. So the biggest one we have is over here. So if I just punch that one out, like so. There's one. It just needs the tails trimming. And just find any little scraps where you can just get that piece in. Okay, so there. And there. We need 3, don't we? So I'll get just another one there. There we go. So it's just the, I don't know, it's a double punch, leaf punch, or I can't remember what the name of that one is. But it's really useful, and there is a matching stamp set with it. So jolly handy. And then we go back to our snips. So I'm just going to snip that down at the bottom, right at the bottom of the stem. So it's going to have a little tiny lip on the bottom there. So again, just snip that off right near the bottom of the stem. All 3. So thanks for that, Angela. So 7th of October we've got coming up there as the postage increase. This is for the UK peeps. Okay, but if you can get your Christmas cards ahead of time, Christmas stamps ahead of time. But if we're super efficient this year, we can give out more by hand, can't we, girls and gents? Yeah, that's the best intention to have, is to start handing them out maybe from the 1st of December, as you see people before Christmas. Now I'm going to put some. These will go straight on, the flames will go straight onto the card, but these are going to have pads on. Now, I took both of my 12 pairs of tweezers with me for class today. There we go. So you know me, I have to use my tweezers to put these on. So we'll put enough on here that it's not going to sag. And one near the top there. Another one there. And turn all of those over. I don't like to cover up these beautiful flowers, but I've used the red one, this one the other day, and it's got the lovely cherry cobbler in there. I'll put 4 on each. Bit excessive, but I don't want them to sag, and because they're narrow strips, it's more likely to just give a little bit. There we go. I'll catch up with yeah, hello Smudge. She's very vocal, isn't she? Bless her. Hey, I think she's gone already. She's bored with our company. So I'll take our weights off there, and oops, a daisy. I'm going to get them, aren't I? So I like to put the middle one in first. So that's going to come along here. I want to put that roughly in the middle, like so. It's going to come straight up there. This one's coming to the left, I want to have a bigger border around the outside, so I'm going to put this fairly low with just a small border. Okay, and then this one the other side, so just there with a small border again. There we go. And then we're going to go on to these. Now I will put these directly onto the card base, so we can just tip the little tiny tip here, can just tuck underneath. Okay, so we've got our little flickering bulbs, flickering candles. Oh, these are adhesive backed, aren't they? I don't need that on there. Just get a piece of paper towel and wipe that off. I always forget that. I did this with somebody the other day and forgot that they were adhesive backed. Makes it so much easier. So glasses again. And just flick these off. Once you get them started, they're easy. Okay, turn that round. I will use the tweezers because it's easier to tuck that down behind there. Just a little bit, and nice and straight up, because the flame goes upright, doesn't it? The straight way, straight up. There we go. And that one under there. Because because the candles make it a little bit plain, I wanted to do the sentiment and I wanted to emboss that. So we'll heat emboss that one. And that one's coming over there, like so. So these are your first festive candles. Just get those 3 in the bin. Oh, maybe you don't want to move. Okay, stay there then. So I want a nice greeting coming across here, and this is the set I really love at the moment. So we have got some other ones here to choose from, but I think this one, see, that one's quite a nice bold sentiment to come through the middle. Remember that these are not necessarily at 100%. I've not even mounted this one yet, but I wanted just to see what size that was going to look like on there. This is the stamp here. So Season Greetings is quite a nice one. Got that one in a delicate font. Oh, these ones. See, I'll see how big this one is, I think. I'll turn these over. The bow punch. Sorry, Anne, what was that for? I didn't see what that was timely for. The bow punch. We did used to have a bow punch, a beautiful bow punch. It was lovely. Either of these two will fit on here. We've got It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. We have actually used this one today. Thinking that would sit on there nicely. I think we're going to use that. I have got a little trick for you. So I have returned them to the desk. I deliberately brought them over. That's green. Maybe we didn't have cherry cobbler today. Okay. The leaves. Is that called the bow punch? With the double. I thought it was I got double in the word there somewhere. So well done. Thank you for that. I've got something stuck on here and it's just bugging me, so let's just get that off. And I just need to get my cherry cobbler pad because I'm going to teach you a little trick. If I can find my Versamark is there. Okay, I have the embossing pads, I've got the heat gun, so let's just get the cherry. I'm not sure if you've seen me do this, so we're going to set that aside. So this is going to be a little bit of a different one today. It is a clear mount stamp. I need a big enough piece of card. We're going to cut round it, but I need a big enough piece that's going to hold in the Stamperata. So that's not going to work. Do a little bit bigger. It needs to hold because we're going to do a two-step process. In that case, I think I'm just going to have to cut a piece. So we can do this. I'm going to cut it to a 1/4 panel, just roughly, because then I know what's left is going to be even 1/4 pieces. 10.5. That's it. I won't use all of it. I can use the rest. Oops. So I'm going to place that in the middle and anchor it down nicely. I'll bring that out of the shadow over here. So we want to make sure that we've got this greeting a little bit away from the edge, and I think I do need that matte. This is a clear matte stamp, so we do need to have the thicker matte under here. This little one is for the rubber stamps. So if we don't have the right matte on here, then it just won't reach the stamp nicely. So that in a little way from the edge. I'm going to pick that one up. Okay, so that is nicely anchored down there. So first of all, we're going to stamp it with the cherry cobbler ink, keeping it nice and flat. This is why those of you with the Stamparatus, it is the best tool to use. I've got a little bit of ink in there. I hope that that's okay, but I am going to fussy cut around it, so because we want to see the candles, we don't want the greeting to overshadow. So I'm just going to do that one again. I might have needed to keep that other matte in as well. Just press nice and hard. There we go. So that's beautiful. That's exactly what we wanted. So I'm going to grab my chamois. I haven't used these today because I took the scrubber with me because we're using rubber stamps. So I'm just going to damp them down a little bit and just clean this off. Okay, because the Stamparatus is going to anchor this down, keep it all in the same place, it's going to be the perfect technique for this. Then I want the Versamark, which was here in my hands, and I need the powders, which I got out. You can't believe it, can you? You couldn't make this happen. I took them out of the trolley. And they are here. They're in dodos. They're not there. Oh, Sandra, come on, they can't have vanished. Come out, come out. Ah, there we go, look. Couldn't be a little bit more obvious than that, could we? So I'm going to use the clear embossing powder today. So this is to make, did you know that you can make any of your Stampin' Up colours into embossing powders? Just look and see, put this down. Clear, that's that one. So what I'm going to do here is going to make any of your Stampin' Up colour inks, anything, literally anything, into a nice embossed look on it. Okay, so I'm now going to put the Versamark over the top of this. We were heat embossing today, so I had everything out in the trolley with me. So I'm just going to touch that over there. And because we're only going to be stamping over exactly the same image, so we're now going to do the Versamark. Okay, and pop that on. Okay, and I'm going to do it twice because you can't see it. We don't know if we're covered. We don't know how it's going to look. So just to be safe, I put a second coat on. Okay, and then shut that one again. Okay, now I'm going to take this out. While that ink, the Versamark ink, is still wet, I'm going to pop this into my little clear piece of paper here and sprinkle the clear embossing powder over the top. Okay, we'll do what like we do normally. We're going to shake off the excess back in here, and it looks a little bit dull because we've put that powder over the top there. You won't be able to see really much on there. I'm going to tip this back into the pot. I'll clean that plate later. It can go back in there. Tip that back in the pot. There we go, that can go in the box. And that in the box. And then I'm going to bring the heat tool on. Oops, a daisy. That'll teach me to stand it in the bin, won't it? I've got a metal bucket on it, the bin, and it's just brought everything out with it. So I'm now going to use this on here, and I'm going to melt that clear powder. Just need to put the glasses down so I can see when it melts. So this is now going to turn this clear and shiny, but it'll be cherry cobbler coming through from underneath. Looking gorgeous. I'll try and get it nearer the camera shortly. Don't overcook it. Like I said the other day, we mustn't overcook the embossing powders. Okay, and that is perfect. So if I bring this up, I'm going to see if I can do my best to get you to be able to see the, let it focus a little bit. That is all cherry cobbler, and it's shiny, like clear embossed on the top of it. I think it's going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to see it, but trust me, those of you who see me in person, you can have a look at it. But that is all nice, and it's raised, so you've got the cherry cobbler ink and then the clear embossing, and it's just raised, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm now going to just rough cut around that, get rid of that nice clean piece of card, and then I'm just going to come around here like I normally do, just take this round. These aren't the best scissors, actually. We always have our favourite pairs. We've got the sharper ones and the not so sharp ones. Just turn that round the corner. You haven't seen me doing this lately either, so I'm just turning the paper. If you want to get rid of excess, just get rid of those bits. And just hack at this just to get it out of the way. So I'm coming back in on that point, and I'm just going to swivel my card round where I want to come round. Okay, and just roughly cut round that. You don't have to be too close. You can do as much or as little as you want. And pivot the paper, not the scissors. I really am croaky. Hope I haven't got a bug coming down. I think it's probably more likely to be too much talking today. Those of you who know me, stop laughing. I had a little class this morning, and they were new people to me. Had a whale of a time. I'm looking forward to next month. Okay, so just scribbling around there, swiveling around, sorry. Up the other side. And so you don't have to do it this close. You can keep it bigger pieces than this. It's entirely up to you what you'd like to do. It's just another little technique you can add to your portfolio. Any colour ink to be embossed. So it's a really nice one to do. Just going to round that off a bit more. It's a bit square. It'll just annoy me. There we go. It's rounded. So there's our little sentiment there. And that means that we can put this on the top here, but we can still see, if I bring you in again, a bit further away, aren't you? And then we can put that on there, and it's still, these are raised, so I'm going to put this flat on there, or if you wanted to, you could actually put that on some pads and make this a by hand card. I think I might do that actually. I like it just that off the ground there. So let's put some little pads on there. Because I'm going to be super organised, aren't I? As mentioned last week, let's get ourselves really organised so we don't have to stress over Christmas. Give our health a little bit of a break. I've got some little ones in here. I'm just going to put a little one that side and a little one that side. There we go. Pop them in the bin. Pick that up and we're ready to go. Okay. Oh, and I know what else I need to do. Put that on there like so. I haven't put anything on the long ones here. If you wanted to do something under there, you could use the edges of your little ones are best for that. Just use these edges and put some little skinny pieces on there if you're fast. but I'm not too worried about that. And then, oh, you love sharing your ideas. Yes, I do. Well, as things come to me, I don't keep any secrets. I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to run and grab my cherry. I haven't got any red ones. I think there are. Oh, I know what we could use. Oh, I really need a cup of tea. The papers that we had with those, I'm just going to grab those because they had some lovely gems with them, didn't they? Wait a minute then. Here, they are here. These ones here, look, we can use some of those gems because they've got the red in there. These ones at the bottom here, they'll look lovely. I was going to colour these. That's all I was going to do was grab the Cherry Cobbler Stamp and Blend, the alcohol ones, the dark one, and just run those through. Just gently colour them over the top and around the sides. But as we've got these ones that go with these papers, I'm going to use 3 of these in the corner. Okay, you know my signature, I like to do these. Just 1, 2, and 3. Now these are quite proud actually. These are quite deep on the gems there. They're very, very beautiful. So I think that that's a really lovely card. Oh, thanks Joy. Thanks Angela. I've just seen the Miss Chatterbox. I don't want any Mr. Men gifts at Christmas with the Chatterbox one. Yes, that's me though. We had that conversation today with some ladies. There was another Gemini, so we kept each other company. It's quite nice. Yeah, so that if I turn it in the camera, you can see the sparkliness of that. And I just love the way that these tops just look more like candle wick, you know, proper candles. Okay, at the top there. So I hope you like that. Now I have got one more little trick for you. It's a very quick one. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to show you what I did. So with the scraps that I had last time, these were the bits left over, if you remember. I had the red bits here and I had the florally bits. Okay. So with these, I'm going to do it with this one. So we have these edge pieces with these little V's. You're going to say, she hasn't done something with them. You know me, of course she has. So you just snip them away. And I've got another one here, snip them away. If you have got the time and the patience to stick these ones in between these ones, I just drizzled a tiniest bit of glue along an edge on here and then put these in between. So stuck that one, that one, that one, that one, that one and that one all along the line. Okay, so if they're straight, if you've got it anchored down somewhere, you can do that and you end up with this, and that's stuck together. So just by putting one piece of scrap over the top of the other piece of scrap, you'll end up with some bunting. Okay, so if you wanted this, you can curve it because it's only adhered in those little bits. I was thinking not on this one, but maybe have I got a card somewhere? Got a blank piece of card there, and maybe if you're doing something, you could put a little just pop it on the edge there and then just kind of like curl it round like so, or have a streamer coming along like that. Like I say, I haven't played with these ones yet. I'd want it to be just slightly curved, but I have seen things in the past. We had a Hey Chick bundle I was talking with somebody about the other day, and they had a die and it just went across the corner like that. But there is your bunting from the edges of your bow, take a bow pieces where you've cut all these out across. Okay, it just works because it cuts both ends. These ones are all straight along the bottom, if you remember. I buried them. This will be for this bottom edge. This one here, this one they're going to be uneven, they're staggered, but this one here, they're all the same length. So that's where that came from, in the top there. And then you end up with a piece of bunting. So enjoy, and if you do play with those ideas, any of those ideas tonight, then please share in the post below. Use as Z banner. Yeah, use as a banner. Yes, absolutely. It's perfect, isn't it? But that's just one overlaid. Look, just drizzle it along that top, the whole top edge, and then lay one on top of the other, just at opposites. So put a V in the blanks like so. Really, really good tip. And you know me, I love to play. So that just jumped out at me. So I thought I'd share it with you tonight. So there we go. There's another tip. Okay, and there's our card from today. So thanks for joining me. Wednesdays usually tend to be a little bit longer. So don't worry, Irene, we're on replay, so you can go back and watch again. But this is using the Take a Bow dies. I've just used these N3 here, and I've shortened them so they stagger in length, so they're different heights. And then the leaf, the bow punch here with the 2 twigs. I've used the largest leaf at the bottom. Okay, so there's a recap. If you watch back, there's other tips through there as well. Okay, thanks, Linda. Oh, bless. You're welcome, everybody. I'm going to bring you back to me. Just a last reminder that if any of you have got anything, I meant to bring this up and show you. I'm just going to pop this across. Stampin' Up yesterday, I put a post up to say that Stampin' Up updated their clearance rack. Okay, so it refreshed yesterday, and some things will be running out. They run out quickly. As soon as the clearance rack goes up, people are snapping up bargains. Okay, it's a case of how many are in the warehouse, and one market might, one country might run out quicker than us, or we might have more supplies than them. Depends on how they go. So if you want to have a look, just look back at yesterday's post and click on the link and go and take a look, because there's some great bargains in there, up to 60% off. Fantastic prices in there, just so that they can clear the warehouse and make room for the spring summer catalogue coming in, which won't be long. That'll be around the corner after Christmas. Yes, next week is daylight savings. You're in New Zealand. I think we stagger by a week or two sometimes. I'm not sure what ours is, but I will let you know. I'll pop a post up. Okay, but be aware of that as to when that changes. Okay, I think ours is a little bit later. I'm not sure. I'll take a look and I'll put a post up to remind everybody. Okay, thanks for joining me today. Take care, and I will